Hello there, welcome to CNR Extra on City TV. My name is Nanatufo Boateng. Coming up. Debate on the mid-year budget review commences with a clash between two leading figures on finance in Parliament over the alleged printing of 22 billion cedis by the Bank of Ghana.
This administration has taken 22 billion and 48 million Ghana cedis from the Bank of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, when the Bank of Ghana or the central bank gives money to government of Ghana, it's called printing of money in economics.
The economist he understands is that Bank of Ghana has printed money. This is the worst economist I've ever heard. If this is the economist we are being taught this morning from the NDC.
Meanwhile, Bank of Ghana denies printing the said 22 billion Ghana cedis to finance government's budget without parliamentary approval. Still ahead, Office of the Special Prosecutor begins investigations into suspected corruption and corruption-related offences in the awarding of a contract by the Northern Development Authority to A&Q Consortium. And later, mixed reactions greet 57% completion rate of the Obichebi-Lamte interchange as announced by the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta.
They're keeping lot to finish the road construction, so you have to let them know that they should finish it fast because so that we'll be free here. The dust is killing us here too much. Even look at me since morning. I wear white shirt, but look at me, it's dirty, which is.
Well, before we move into our first story, let me introduce to you briefly Philip Nilate of the City Newsroom, who joins me in studio. Good morning, Philip.
Good morning, Natufo.
Great to have you. Let's go straight into our first story. But remember that the show is interactive, and so you can join via the WhatsApp number 0550-585832. You can also follow the feed on Facebook at City TV. On Twitter and Instagram, it's at City TV GH. Let us know what you think about the various stories that we will be bringing you. Let's dive straight into our first story. And of course, the media budget review was presented by the Finance Minister. Subsequently, the debate on the budget has started in Parliament.
The debate on the mid-year budget review started with a clash between two leading figures on finance in Parliament over the alleged printing of 22 billion cedis by the Bank of Ghana. Ranking member on finance, Dr. Cassilato Forson, first made the allegation on Monday and repeated same on the floor on Tuesday, blaming the rising inflation rate on that measure by the central bank. But this was sharply rebutted by a Deputy Minister for Finance, Dr. John Kuma, who indicated that the stated amount is an overdraft advanced by the bank to government. There's more in the following report.
Dr. Cassilato Forson was the first speaker for the debate, indicating that the statement held no hope for Ghanaians and repeated claims about the printing of money illegally by the central bank.
The minister conspicuously decided not to inform this House that, the Speaker, they have gone to the central bank to borrow an amount of 22 billion Ghana cedis. 22 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, let me point you to something. Mr. Speaker, on the document that was given to us, after the media review, Mr. Speaker, page 97, page 97, Appendix 2A, Mr. Speaker, it gives you summary of central government operations, first half of 2022. Mr. Speaker, in the 2022 budget, the projection was that government of Ghana was going to take zero amount from the central bank. Mr. Speaker, only for us to see in the same document that between January to June 2022, this administration has taken 22 billion and 48 million Ghana cedis from the Bank of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, when the Bank of Ghana or the central bank gives money to government of Ghana, it's called printing of money in economics.
But Deputy Minister for Finance, Dr. John Kuma, responded to the concerns on the floor and at a press briefing indicating that there was nothing illegal about the measure from the central bank.
Economists I heard this morning from him is that if BOG, Bank of Ghana, grants an IMF SDR facility of 4.5 billion and gives a net drawdown deposit of 6.1 plus the overdraft of 11.4, which constitute the 22 billion. The economist here understands is that Bank of Ghana has printed money. This is the worst economist I've ever heard. If this is the economics we are being taught this morning from the NDC and our brothers in the opposition, then it is very, very, very bad for this country. Mr. Speaker, if you read Section 30 of the Bank of Ghana Act, clearly it is within the remit of the law for Bank of Ghana to grant overdraft and support to central government without printing money. And I am surprised that just this signal is the meaning of economics to our friends on the other side. No wonder they left us with a doomsday economy.
The Speaker on the floor announced the latest list of nominees from the President for the Supreme Court bench.
Justice Barbara Francis Akayensu, Justice of Appeal. 2, Justice George Kingsley Kumsin, Justice of Appeal. 3, Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Asedu, Justice of Appeal. And 4, Justice Ernest Yao Gau, Justice of the High Court. Upon receipt of the Judicial Council's advice, in accordance with my duty under Article 144, Clause 2, I consulted with the Council of State by submitting the names and curricula vitae of the nominees for appointment to the court. The Council of State has, by letter dated 25th July 2022, notified me of the successful completion of the consultation process. I am, therefore, in accordance with Article 144, Clause 2, seeking the approval of Parliament for the appointment of the nominees as Justice of the Supreme Court.
The Privileges Committee has delivered a split decision on the fate of Dom Kwabinya MP Sarah Adwoa Safo. The committee failed to achieve a consensus in its recommendations on whether or not, for absenting herself more than the mandatory 15 days without permission from the Speaker, her seat should be declared vacant. According to a copy of the Privileges Committee report exclusively available to City News, the majority wants the seat declared vacant without delay in line with stated constitutional provisions, while the minority argues that according to the principle of natural justice, the seat should not be declared vacant because Adwoa Safo did not provide her side of issues to the committee. It was, however, determined that the excuse from her two other colleagues, Kennedy Ejapon and Henry Korte, for absenting themselves were reasonable. The report was laid in Parliament on Monday and will be debated before Parliament goes on recess on Thursday. The debate on the statement from the Minister for Finance on the media budget review has begun in earnest. It will be wrapped up before the House goes on recess on Thursday. Reporting for City News from Parliament, my name is Duke Mensopoko.
All right, so really we were alarmed immediately after the presentation of the budget review when the ranking member on the Finance Committee of Parliament, Kesi Latufosin, raised the issue of the central bank printing 22 billion Ghana cedis. It was quite alarming, but then from the debates in the House, we get to understand from him again that really is the economic term money printing that was used, and not necessarily the bank itself printing currency, although it could amount to the creation of new money, because this is basically money printing basically is borrowing from the central bank to finance government projects, which clearly creates a new money but not necessarily prints new currency.
And the Deputy Finance Minister is also indicating that this is not what the case is, and they also disputing that fact. This morning I heard
he backed this by the BOG Act, actually.
Exactly. This morning I heard Dr. Kisela Atufosin saying that is going to issue a statement, and that statement is going to compel or bring to fore the governor of the Bank of Ghana to answer questions on what the 22 billion Ghana cedis has been used for. So we are hoping and waiting exactly what the conversation will be on. But it's funny that when you are in opposition, you tend to
know all the right things.
All the right things, yeah. So, and the minority is actually pushing very hard.
Yeah,
that is,
which is good.
Yes, they're pushing very hard to get to know what exactly that amount of money has been used for. So we are waiting to see exactly what the governor of the Bank of Ghana would say if Dr. Kisela Atuforsen should come out to that statement and get the Bank of Ghana governor before Parliament to answer those questions.
I mean, if he does appear before the House, then it will be clear as to what really has happened with respect to this alleged printing of 22 billion Ghana cedis. If indeed it's just the economics of it, by the use of the term money printing, or really new currency has been printed, then of course the legalities would have to come in, because then you would need parliamentary approval for the central bank to go ahead and print new currency.
And you know, the Bank of Ghana also came out with a statement to debunk those claims made by the minority side and asking that the general public should disregard it. But
exactly. We actually have a clip on that. So let's take a look at that clip, the BOG denying claims by the minority.
22 billion Ghana cedis to finance government's budgets without parliamentary approval. Ranking member on the Finance Committee of Parliament, Dr. Kisela Atuforsen, had alleged the government, acting through the Bank of Ghana, had printed an amount of 22 billion Ghana cedis without recourse to Parliament. A statement released by the Bank of Ghana, however, indicates that the stipulated amount represents the net claims on government and not new currencies as alleged. Here are excerpts of the statement read by City News' Ni Ayikwe Okan.
The Bank of Ghana deems it necessary to provide clarity on the issue and to set the record straight. The amount of 22 billion Ghana cedis represents net claims on government and not new currency printed to support the government's budget. The net claims of 22 billion Ghana cedis has the following four components. 1. GOG stocks and bonds sold by commercial banks to the Bank of Ghana under repurchase agreements by which banks routinely manage their liquidity positions. 2. IMF SDR allocation disbursed to government through the Bank of Ghana. 3. Drawdown of government's own deposits held with Bank of Ghana. 4. Negative balance on government's accounts with Bank of Ghana at a point in time and self-liquidated as new government deposits are credited to the accounts. First, there is an amount of 1.6 billion Ghana cedis which reflect GOG stocks and bonds sold by commercial banks to Bank of Ghana under repurchase agreements. These bonds held by a commercial bank since 2021 were purchased by Bank of Ghana to provide liquidity to the bank under a repurchase agreement that required the bank to buy back these bonds at a later date. Having purchased these bonds on the secondary market as a secondary transaction, Bank of Ghana's holdings of GOG bonds increased by 1.6 billion Ghana cedis, not because it had lent money to government, but because it had purchased a GOG bond originally purchased by the bank for investment purposes. As part of its functions of providing liquidity to the banking sector, Bank of Ghana routinely enters into similar agreements, repos and reverse repos, with commercial banks that hold government bonds and require liquidity to meet short-term obligations. These arrangements do not represent lending to government by Bank of Ghana. The proceeds of bonds purchased from banks go to those banks and not to government. Once Bank of Ghana purchases such bonds from banks, it holds them until maturity of the bonds, unless they are repurchased by the banks. Secondly, 6.2 billion cedis of the amount reflect on lending of IMF SDR resources to government, in line with the overall objective of the special SDR operation by the IMF. IMF resources are usually meant for balance of payment support, and it goes directly to the central banks. However, in this particular instance, the special SDR allocation by the IMF was designed to provide budget support to countries to help address issues related to the COVID-19 pandemic, Last year, Bank of Ghana received additional SDR allocation of SDR 707.3 million. In line with the broader objectives of the special SDR allocations, the Bank of Ghana lent the additional resources to the government. This was approved by Parliament in the 2022 budget presentation. The Bank of Ghana would like to assure the public that in carrying out its functions as banker to government, it is committed to complying fully with all relevant legal requirements.
So, well, clearly there are further explanations that need to be made. I mean, from what the Bank of Ghana statement is saying, that these are just net claims on government and not new currencies
that have been printed.
Exactly. So this one is, you can liken this to monetization of debt. So, I mean, how it works is that the central bank can buy government bonds and then decide to write out or cancel out the debt. But ultimately, this will lead to inflation.
Yes.
And that is the concern the minority really is raising.
Exactly. And you see, the Bank of Ghana has also come out to say that they are assuring the public that carrying out their function as bankers of the government, they are committed to complying fully with the relevant legal requirements. And that is what the minority is also asking. If you are ready to comply with the legal requirements, then definitely you must make things available in Parliament, or you must get the parliamentary approval before issues of this nature comes out. So I think that if the governor of the Bank of Ghana comes before the House, he will be able to explain further what really went into it, and I think that is going to sync well with the Ghanaians, and we are going to get further explanations on this. So, though the statement sought to explain a lot of things, I think that the minority side also asking for him to be before Parliament is a step in the right direction, that at least we want more answers to these questions in our heads.
Hopefully, if the BOG governor appears before the House, then we'll have some clarity on whether the central bank is buying government bonds and rolling the debt over or cancelling them out. But either ways, this is just a way to create money without government bearing any cost.
Exactly.
And that's basically what it is. But let's move on to our next story. And the Office of the Special Prosecutor is on to something big. This time around, he's going after the Northern Development Authority for some corruption and corruption-related offences.
Office of the Special Prosecutor is investigating suspected corruption and corruption-related offences in the awarding of a contract by Northern Development Authority to A&Q Consortium. According to the office, the authority contracted the consortium for services under the Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Program of the authority. There are, however, questions that raise suspicions. The office has thus invited the Chief Executive of the authority, the Coordinator for Special Initiatives at the Presidency, officers of the consortium and others for interrogation. All payments arising from the contract have been frozen.
So what we know so far on this story, or what we are picking up, is that there was a private legal practitioner, Martin Pebu, that petitioned the Office of the OSV, the Special Prosecutor, to investigate a supposed shady deal or the awarding of a contract to A&Q Consortium by the Northern Development Authority.
And you see, this has also come at a time when we've had issues with corruption in this country. And recently we saw the survey that came out from the Ghana Statistical Service, and also another one that came out recently,
the
Afrobarometer survey. And it's pointing to the fact that a lot of corruption cases are in the country. You find a lot of institutions that are into corrupt practices, the police, the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Immigration Service.
Even the Office of the President.
Exactly, a number of them. And also from the Transparency International survey, or the corruption index released by the Transparency International, they are saying that Ghana has to make significant progress in its fight against corruption. So far, the country hasn't made significant progress to fight corruption. So I think that the Office of the Special Prosecutor investigating issues like these is a step in the right direction, because recently we also noticed that he is also on board to investigate more issues that happen to relate to corruption cases and all that. So in a bid to curb the corruption issues or the corruption problems in this country, I think that he should be empowered more to go on with these investigations, and at least we get to curb the corruption practices in the country. So I think that what is happening with the contract by the Northern Development Authority and to the A&Q consortium, if we are privy to all the information at the end of the investigation, is going to help us so that at least we know that the special prosecutor or prosecution office is doing something great.
And I think I like his approach to these issues, just like he's been doing with the late Kojo Usuafi's case, Sir John.
Yes.
I mean, he makes a move to freeze your assets so that in the end that the case travels or goes to trial, we don't come back after a judgment is pronounced and then the assets are no more to be found.
And in this one too, all payment arising from the contract
he's written to the Controller and Accountant General to freeze payments arising from this particular contract. And you see, what baffles me the most is that this is coming out of a program that is supposed to eradicate poverty. So, I mean, if you're going to award a contract for consultancy services for a program that is aimed at eradicating poverty and is shrouded in so much corruption or corruption-related offenses, then really, are we going back or we are going forward?
We are not eradicating poverty then. If really,
we are really not serious about it.
Of course, because if you are eradicating poverty and at the end of the day, there is a contract that is supposed to be given out and it's all in corruption or we have corruption cases around it, then certainly I think the investigation is a step in the direction and get the results of it so that the general public will be aware of all this. Coming on the back of what is happening recently from the Ghana Statistical Service and the Afro-Barometer survey, it tells us that Ghana, we are finding it very difficult to curb the corruption issues in the country. Yeah, and also, I like the fact that he's going after some big names. I mean, we understand that the coordinator for special initiatives at the Jubilee House has already been invited by the OSP, by the SP, to answer some questions relating to this particular contract. And also the chief executive of the Northern Development Authority. He's also been called to answer some questions related to these issues. I feel if you cut off the head, it stops. Exactly. Yeah, but then if you go and start from the tail, I mean, the snake can survive for a while or can do more harm before it dies off. So let's cut off the head. And let's wish the OSP well. I mean, he's doing a yeoman's job. He needs more resources and he needs to be empowered. And of course, he needs the support of the general public to continue doing some of the things that he's doing. You're watching CNR Extra on City TV. Still ahead. Mixed reactions greet 57% completion rate of the Obechebi-Lamte interchange as announced by the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. We'll bring you the details shortly. Don't go away.
Plus is a fully skimmed evaporated milk. Creamy Plus is available in a shop near you.
This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Welcome back. This is CNR Extra on City TV. My name is Nana Tufo-Boateng, and I'm here with Philip Ni Latte. We're bringing you some of the stories that made it to our major news bulletin, CNR. And of course, we'd like to hear from you, and so send us a text via the WhatsApp number 0550-585832. You can also join the live feed on Facebook at City TV, and of course on Instagram and Twitter at City TV GH. Let's do some road stories now. And the finance minister did mention the Ofori-Atta interchange during the presentation of the mid-year budget review. There's some reactions to it. Let's take a look.
Now, the issue about roads continue to be a major issue when it comes to residents of Accra and, in fact, many other areas in the country. Now, in the mid-year budget review presented by the Finance Minister, Ofori-Atta, on Monday, he made mention of some key road infrastructure across the country. One of them is the Ofori-Atta interchange, on which I currently stand. Now, he made mention that second phase of this project is 57% complete.
In futura dia ye nipa wa ha no anya sam ketwa ofa ye be frɛ wo ma frɛ mo fa nsuo nso man yo mo fa nti wunim se etimi sa gwata we mu nsuo ne de egu a ensuo nso tɔ na yiri a ɛfa ha bu fa ha nyina basto yi mu anya sam ketwa wa ha ofa samo ka bia man mon ka bi man na mo nye na mo nwie ento mo nsam frɛ man futuro no enkɔfo wo ho ne ma egu a obaka se ene ma enye in futuro no na abɔ ho saa ne ya horo ye gu dem na no se be me horo ye ne ya horo still and future boy and to be Babacas near man yet.
Speak to us about traffic. Yeah, and no pa in you may
cry there, how cry there, Yentimin Twan there. If it's a original panaka and a boss swab, and ye need baby near car and a packet, and can so the new baby near, about fruit pavement, now a beside near what on a watch and Neddy Bini Hawk. Say,
what share business away before almost started project to ABI at the end of the day, Obenya 100 CDs. Nasi almost started projects no. Chemu Sikemu Capre, almost started one dear, me buy name we Minya Biko Henqualano. No almost started one a curb yen to Mina Hadia, a yet de mamma, and then me come unimisa, Miss Resi can't send Mokoto and Yabidi. Miss Red NCD. And some Mokoto and mobile media will be some curb in her way now.
With Momu, the Baboya Papa, because sometimes there's traffic in the bazaar. Na more taxi for a good bread. The quantity me fise Momo and a Baboya Pa.
Before we complain, say if in futuro ni quite so a kitwa, who sing.
Kitwan moment there, I didn't come more and come my and a prayer. I'm futuro, they say, or more than the idea and futuro, but anytime I'm afraid the most or more than wouldn't shoot them, but the I'm a baby, I read.
When did they start this road project and how is it affecting you?
Moreover, the dust affects us, and it makes a lot of traffic happens when someone is dying and you want to go to Kolebu and they are blowing the horn, ping, even the road is chocked and the people cannot even penetrate to the Kolebu, and that is even causing a lot of people. Even when it's like that, before the person will reach Kolebu, the person can even get dead before reaching the Kolebu. So all is affecting us here, and it's unfair. Even though the road has become only one lane, they're keeping on to finish the road construction. So you have to let them know that they should finish it fast because so that we'll be free here. The dust is killing us here too much. Even look at me since morning. I wear white shirt, but look at me, it's dirty, which is unfair. Look at what is coming.
But the water we are told is to reduce the dust that you are complaining about.
Even it's wasting it. It will waste it, the issue here. If you let it finish, after everything, you see that, watch out, you get wet. You see what they're doing. Even it's like this, but later the dust will wake up again because of the cars are passing plenty. You understand?
But I mean, it's better than nothing because there was no water.
That one there is better. For them to flow the water on the floor, it's nice. Because when you didn't do that, the dust will be plenty and our eyes cannot even see.
Now, as the finance minister gave updates on road projects, he did not only mention the Ofori-Atta interchange, other roads were mentioned, like the famous Accra-Tema motorway, which he says when the expansion project is complete, would begin to attract tolls. My colleague, Feduho, has visited that road together with the La Beach Road, where an interchange is also being constructed, to tell us how things are moving on those two projects.
from community to community where people are demanding their fair share of the national cake, where they are calling on the government to construct roads leading to their communities. Here at the Tema interchange, it used to be a runabout which normally cause serious gridlock. Traffic has been quite serious over the period. But ever since this interchange was constructed, there has been some great relief to motorists that normally use this particular road. To my right are vehicles coming all the way from the eastern region of Ghana and some parts of the Volta region. And to this side are vehicles going all the way to Nigeria, Togo, and more like an international corridor that connects Ghana to its other neighboring countries to the northern part of the country. And to my right on this side is where we have the Tema Harbour. And this particular interchange would be serving a purpose in the coming months when road is closed to the public or the motoring public for the construction work to begin on the Tema motorway. And for that matter, vehicles are going to be diverted to use the Tema Beach Road. Now let's take a look at ongoing project or the ongoing works on the Tema Beach Road as it stands now. This is the Nungwala Beach Road. So far, work is progressing steadily. The very last time I was here, the project had gotten to the Labadi Beach Hotel area, but today we are around the La Royal Palace, where the workers are advancing gradually to where Kingdom Bookshop is. This work would have progressed much faster than we are seeing now, if not for the mere fact that people have properties dotted along the stretch that they need to be compensated for their properties before work can really go on. I have the chairman and the secretary of the Landlords Association in the Teshi area who were affected in one way or the other by the demolition to pave way for the construction of the Teshi Nungwa Road.
Sort was cut last year by His Excellency the Vice President on behalf of the President himself. And it was supposed to be commissioned on November 2nd this year. But unfortunately, it's been pushed to the first quarter of next year. That is around March. It will be commissioned by His Excellency the President. Roads open up the community, roads open up the country, roads open up the municipality. This is supposed to be a 4-lane, 3-tier interchange from Nungwa barrier, that is from the Kuro municipality, right to the Independence Arc.
For the Accra-Tema motorway, it will be told the moment they are done with the reconstruction. And the reconstruction, according to the Roads and Highways Minister, is going to be expanded further to some 4 lanes, and at certain points it's going to be 6 lanes. When the construction is done, you are going to pay toll when you make use of the motorway.
For introduce it again, it's not a bad thing because you have to pay. We have to pay for toll.
Are you willing to pay more for that?
No, well, for now, how the system is now, we have to use the old one.
We don't understand the reason why the government stopped the correction of the toll. So the government have to bring it on.
I don't think it benefited me in any way. I think the government is rather losing. As an individual, it was nothing to pay the toll, actually. Yeah, so I think government actually lost in taking out the toll. Yeah.
My name is Fred Duho, reporting from the Tema motorway for City News.
Well, the works are ongoing, but of course it will be expected that some of these issues will come up. Clearly, wherever or whenever construction works are being undertaken, there will be some of these effects that persons who live or ply their trade around the various spots that these construction works are ongoing will have issues with.
Give and take, you may put it on that you want to finish a project within 18 months. It may go beyond the 18 months because there may be issues with compensation, there may be issues with natural disaster, what actually happened recently with the floods that destroyed part of the Obeche Bilamte runabout that is also under construction. And the second phase of the project is the Tier 3 and the third tier that is going to move from the Awudome Cemetery over to Kolebu Road, that is the Aboso-Kain stretch, and also there is going to be some underground storm drains that is going to be constructed from the Pramprom side to the Daily Graphic Road. So I think that as work is moving on steadily, so the people in that particular enclave should just give government some time, if I'll put it that way, because much work is being done about it. And if you say 57%, I think that they have done more, because if what I noticed recently, and we spoke to the engineer, in the month of March, there were somewhere 45% where they've mounted some pillars and all that just to finish the project. But like I indicated, that natural disaster and all that, you can't control them. We had the issue of continuous rains recently, and that may be affecting the project, that it should move on steadily. But nonetheless, contractors are still on site. We saw that contractors trying to ensure that the project moves on steadily and gets completed on time.
But see, Philip, if before you embark on a project, you would have done your feasibility studies and factored in some of all these challenges before you come out giving timelines. You would even know your source of funding and know, based on that, determine that, okay, consistent funding plus all these other factors, I can complete the work within this particular period.
But you know, the second phase is supposed to span within 2 years. And the first phase, if my memory serves me right, ended somewhere ending of 2020, 2021 beginning. And it was commissioned, and we had the whole president and other dignitaries being there to open the tier, or the first phase. So the second phase, if we are looking at things, it should end somewhere 2023, within that 24 months period. And now if it's at 57%, then we are hoping that within the next 6 months to 7 months, we should get somewhere between 70 to 80%.
Who's the contractor on this? Messieurs Queiroz Gavao?
Yes. I'll check that for you.
I think so. Same people that did the circle interchange.
Yes, the contractor on site, from what we are checking here, rather know the engineer, that is Mr. Owusu Sechi entry, and
but
the
that would be the resident engineer.
The resident engineer, and I'll check that for you and get.
I believe it's Messieurs Queiroz Gavao on this project. So I mean, per what they have reported to the government, the finance minister boldly has said that this is 57% complete. So we are hoping that phase 2 will be completed within the stipulated time, as promised, of course, by the contractors. And then, of course, residents and businesses within that enclave can heave some sigh of relief. Hopefully, it opens up the place to more business and, of course, eases the congestion on that stretch. Because really, there can be a gridlock around that stretch, especially when it rains, and it's sometimes really difficult.
The project is being executed by QG Construction Limited from the UK, and with the Fast Consult Limited as the consultant. So the QG Construction Limited from UK, they are the contractors on site, indicating that they are trying to put all these activities in place and ensure that at least the project goes on steadily. But you know, when project is under or is being undertaken, certainly the place you have dusty area, like what happened at where our majority leader was Chairman Sabonso Swami. Yes, you see, the place would certainly be dusty and all that. So I think the people around should just bear with it, so that the Obechibi runabout, we are just hoping that when it's completed, it's going to ease all the traffic in that enclave. And also when you move to the Tashi enclave, where Fred Ho reported from, the people are asking for compensation, and that's what actually is also.
So there we understand they had been split into batches. Some batches had received their compensation. Other landowners, landlords within who were affected, of course, by the expansion are yet to receive theirs, and they are the ones who are really raising issue with the government and the contractor.
So that is also going to delay the project a little, but we are just praying and asking government to do what is needful so that the project can be completed on time, so that everybody who has to be settled will be
because
settled.
You see that the challenge is that should they begin the Accra to Mamoto expansion works, then more traffic will be diverted
on the beach road.
the beach road. So really, they should speed up that project, complete it before they start. Other than that, the people will be stuck in the middle. Now you would have to resort to using the Spintex, which already has its own problems. Like in the mornings, the traffic on the Spintex road is crazy. It's nothing to write home about. So really, they should speed up the beach road project, complete it before touching the motorway expansion. So you are able to remember that all these highways, if I can put it that way, go straight to the Tema Harbour.
Exactly.
Where we cut most of our imported goods into the cities and, of course, into other parts of the country, and even onwards for transit to other countries. And
also, governments must make funds available to these contractors so that they can expedite work on these projects. You know, the Minister of Roads and Highways, Ofori-Atta, has advised, or he is of the view that every now and then contractors should practice working day and night so that at least projects will move on steady. So I think the contractors on the Ofori-Atta runabout, the second tier, they should be fast with the project. And we are hoping that by close of maybe this year or early 2023, they should be completed.
All right. You're still watching CNR Extra, still to come. Motorists who ply the Barnyard intersection in Accra want appropriate authorities to immediately fix non-functioning traffic lights. We have the details coming up shortly. Please stay.
Life is too short, I know if you waste time. Where they up at this, why on not they sleep, make you wake up. Who they call me if you know the party, call me later. If your girlfriend no go, call your side chick, it makes a link up.
Good day energy drink. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to your health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. This is still CNR Extra on City TV. Let us know what you think about the stories we've brought you so far. The alleged printing of some 22 billion cedis, which of course dominated the debate in Parliament. And then of course the BOG's response, the special prosecutor investigating the National or the Northern Development Authority. The issue of road construction, Ofori-Atta, Tema Accra motorway, and of course the La Beach Road. I mean, let's know how you are affected by any of these stories and, of course, the construction of roads. But let's still stay on the issue with roads and road infrastructure because residents and motorists around the Barnyard area have had cause to complain about non-functioning traffic lights.
Motorists who ply the Barnyard intersection in Accra want the appropriate authorities to immediately fix the non-functioning traffic lights. According to them, the situation has persisted for over 2 months and this is life-threatening. City News' Philip Nilate has more in the following report.
This is the Barnyard intersection. On my left is the stretch that leads to Awoshi, Ablekuma, Pokwase, and also behind me is the stretch that leads to Malam, Kaswa. On my right is the stretch that leads to Odoko and Kaneshi. In front of me is the stretch for vehicles coming from Kwashiman, La Paz, and Achimota. There is a big problem here, and the problem is that the traffic light here has not been working for some time now, and motorists and pedestrians are complaining about the situation. On the City Newsroom, I'll engage these stakeholders and find out more from them.
The traffic's been a long time since it's spoiled. They came and did it, but it went off again. So it's causing a lot of accidents over here. Normally in the mornings, there's a lot of traffic over here, and rush hour, at least from 4:30 going, you have a lot of traffic over here. The rush hour that people have closed, that they are going home, you see a lot of traffic over here. It's very static. That is why the policemen are here. They are assisting us in the flow of the traffic. They have to come and do it. Those who have to, who are responsible, that they have to come and do it. They have to come and do it immediately. Otherwise, it's causing a lot of accidents, and the traffic over here is very bad.
But we are facing problem here because of the lights. Because sometimes when people are crossing, they don't have lights. When cars are coming, sometimes traffic they jam for here too much. So we are pleading. So make it come and check for us. If government go hear us and come and help us out, we go be appreciate. I think yesterday we have an accident here. Yeah, motorcycle and car. Because of the light, they have problem. So it be like they have to come and help us, that one there, so that the light go feel work. Yeah.
Well, it is worries a lot because in the morning when the school people want to cross, it worries them. Maybe sometimes the police people will not come early. So you may stand here till whatever, then you cross it yourself. So maybe if you don't know how to manage to cross it, maybe the car or motor can hit you. That one too can cause a lot of accident and inconvenience too. And moreover, when you are getting to the destination, you may come and stand here, maybe getting to 30 minutes. You see, and the close is a lot. It's big. It's big. You can see yourself. Some come from Awoshi, La Paz, Kaswa, and this one too coming from Odoko. So we have to manage it and cross it. That's why we are managing it like that. I want it very soon, like 2 weeks, 1 month time. It has to be fixed. You see, and the one policeman too is, it's not happening. It's not happening. They have to be at 3 or 4 so that they can control it very well.
Well, I think it's very serious. I don't know the kind of word to use than serious. Maybe I can say it's dangerous because this is not the first time. It happens all the time. And each time it happens this way, if you don't have the policemen around here, you can't even cross the shortest one that is here. You can't even cross. And apart from that one, it's also creating a lot of traffic for the vehicles. So I don't know who's actually in control. But this is not the only one. You see, if you go this way, there's another one here. That one is working. But the next one that is there is not working. So sometimes in the morning, I wish you come here early in the morning, around 6, 7, thereabouts, you see the kind of traffic that you see here. Because it's not working. Somebody needs to be there to be addressing the traffic. And the police people too here, sometimes you see one person standing in the middle. There's no other person. So the cars will be coming here. They need to have like 2 or 3 of them around. The person that can see the other side, until there are a lot of cars here, let them cross. Let these people go before these people go. But this is what happens all the time. When you get here, if you are using a vehicle yourself, unless you yourself decide to stop for people to cross. If not, this is how it happens. And early in the morning, people are going to work. So everybody's busy trying to go to work. And we'll come here, you park here, you can stand here for, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes before you cross. So imagine going to work in the morning. You'll be here, the traffic is there. I don't know, those working here need to have some kind of technique.
City News sources at the Ministry of Roads and Highways has indicated that the traffic signal controller, that is the computer that controls the intersection when it comes to the traffic lights, was vandalized by some unknown persons. This has rendered the controller damaged beyond repairs. The cost to replace the system is over 50,000 Ghana cedis. And this is what I gathered from the Ministry of Roads and Highways. The contractors are expected to begin some work, but in the interim, they are working around the clock to replace the system and get the intersection back on stream. My sources also noted that this is the second time this is happening at this particular intersection. The non-functioning traffic light at the Banyard intersection has compelled officers from the Anya Police Command to be stationed here 24/7. According to the Anya Police Command, the situation is having a toll on the officers who are supposed to be here every now and then. However, motorists and pedestrians who ply on this stretch are also calling on the various authorities to, as a matter of urgency, fix this traffic light to save lives. Reporting for City News, my name is Philip Ni Latte.
Well, Philip, you seem to be really getting ahead with this road issues.
This is very worrying because yesterday I received a message from the MTTD commander at Anya Police Command. And he says that his men are not able to do the job there. Reason is they are supposed to be there from morning as early as 5:30 to as late as 10 p.m. Till they get a lot of people around that particular place in their various homes. Because if they are not there, there is going to be chaos. And it's true. During rush hour in the morning,
quite a busy place, isn't it?
Very busy, because you have vehicles moving from Kwashiman, La Paz, crossing to Malam to Kaswa, others too moving from Pokwase, Awoshi, crossing to Odoko, or Pokwase, Awoshi, crossing to Kwashiman, and also vehicles coming from Odoko, Kanishi, crossing to Malam. And it's a very, very, very busy place. And what even makes it scarier is because it's an intersection. And you can't tell which vehicle will be, or a driver will be like, okay, fine, so my traffic light is not working for my side, so I would have to cross. Then you would have a head-on collision there, or probably they're going to record accident there. But the information I also gathered is that the machine or the system that is to control the traffic light in that particular area has been stolen twice. This isn't the first time. Yes. And it's a system that controls the entire place. This is the second time that has been stolen. I sometimes will blame the authorities that why don't you create a burglar proof around it so that at least there's going to be this protection for it so that people wouldn't steal it. But then again, why go into steal it? Why go into take something that is for the state? And that is what has caused the entire problem there. When I spoke to my source, he noted that it takes about over 50,000 Ghana cedis to buy this. This is the same thing that happened at Alajo.
Right.
When Alajo traffic light was also working. Yesterday I also got another call that another place, Malam Market, there is a traffic light there. The traffic light has not been working from January, and we are in July. So that is 7 months ago this traffic light got spoiled. And it looks like the funds to replace or fix these things aren't there. And that is why we would have a lot of problem with traffic lights not working. And people are also saying that it's happening in a number of places in Accra. It looks like the Accra Traffic Management Center is overwhelmed with these things. And contractors will not also want to go in and go and fix these traffic lights without making funds available to them, because already there are monies to be paid to them. There are debts that you are supposed to clear. There are projects that they've embarked on, they've not been paid. So if you want to compound the whole issue by giving them extra job to do without giving them money, they will not be able to fix this traffic light. So I think what should be done right now is the stakeholders involved in this particular, ensuring in this particular situation, ensuring that the traffic lights work, i.e. the Accra Traffic Management Center under the urban roads and under the Ministry of Roads and Highways, the MTTD, the assemblies, and even ourselves. We are supposed to ensure that we take responsibility and get things done.
It makes no sense for you to go steal.
Why steal it?
That's for the general good of the people.
It?
Why would you go steal the system that operates it?
And you know, people around do not really have this information that a particular item has been stolen, and that is what is affecting the traffic
the
lights.
operation of them.
Yes, but all what they are going to say, they are calling on authority to get it fixed. I would say that we are pleading with the authority to get it fixed. When you go to Odogono, in front of Odogono, the traffic light there is not working. And that poses a great risk for the school or for the students in that particular institution, because they're having close to over, say, 1,000 students. And when they close, they are supposed to cross the stretch. And if you've used the Banyard to Ablekuma or Banyard to Anya stretch, you can tell the top speed that people drive on. You understand? Or people are driving at a very high top speed, and they are not even stopping for the school kids to even cross the stretch. And if the vehicle ahead tends to stop, that means another vehicle will bump into you. So I think that the traffic light situation in Accra is becoming worse, and it has to be checked. And all stakeholders who are supposed to be involved, the police has to come in, the Accra Traffic Management Center, if you are doing something, or their contractors, make sure that you protect the system very well, so that it's not stolen. Else we'll be facing these troubles.
Because the fact that somebody keeps stealing it doesn't mean we shouldn't replace it, because our lives are at risk. But many thanks to you, Philip Nilate. That was great having you. Great insights there.
Thank you.
Over grateful to have you on the show. Many thanks to you as well for watching us, choosing CNR Extra on City TV. My name is Nanatufu Boateng. This has been our show for today. We'll see you again, same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.